Isn't it fabulous? Anyways, so hi guys, my name is Jennifer Rowe, and either welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you didn't already know, I have been a stripper. I've been in the sex industry for 13 years. I've been a sugar baby. I've done camming. I recently just joined OnlyFans, so if you're interested, I'm gonna put it in the description below. My point is, I kind of know my ish. So today's video is going to be on the pros and the cons of stripping. I'm going to stick with stripping because that's really been like my main source of income for the last decade. So this doesn't go in any particular order. I'm going to just kind of just like pros and cons, whatever. All right, so let's start with a pro is you make your own schedule. I mean, I've heard of places where you need to be on a schedule. I personally refuse to work for places like that because you guys don't give us paychecks. I don't recommend you conforming to a club demanding you to be on a schedule because they don't pay you, okay? If they're putting you on a schedule, they need to be giving you a paycheck. I don't even know how these people get away with that, okay? So that is one of the pros. Like I said, this doesn't like go in any particular order. I'm just gonna go ahead and say them. A con is nobody is going to force you to go to work because you do make your own schedule and you are your own boss and you kind of show up whenever you want. If you're just not in the mood to go to work, then you take off and then you don't make money. So it's definitely not like a regular 9-to-5 where you're going to have like that guaranteed paycheck. A pro is daily cash. So you're going to go to work and you're going to leave with money that day. You don't have to wait for a week, you know, or two or whatever. You leave work with cash every single day. Now, on the flip side to that, leaving home with cash every single day is that it is hard to manage because unless you put that in the bank right away, or even if you do, you spend it really, really loosely and it's difficult to manage. Some days you can also come home with no money, all right? So don't think that every single day is an amazing day. Sometimes it sucks and you don't go home with any money. You kind of have to take the good with the bad when it comes to this. Like, probably my favorite thing, aside from like being on the stage and dancing, is the outfits. This is something that I wear to work. Actually, I just recently got it. It was a gift and I love it a lot and it gets a lot of attention, and there's nowhere else that I can dress like this and get away with it, you know? Aside from YouTube. So yeah, that is something that's a pro to me, is the clothes. They're a lot of fun. You can be creative because there's tons of different types of strippers. Like, you know, you can just dress however you want. And to me, this is like what I like to wear. On the flip side to that is that this stuff is not cheap. I mean, it can be if you look, I guess, but stripper clothes is not cheap. Outfits are not cheap, and all of that comes out of your own pocket. You need to invest in yourself, fingernails, lashes. I never get lashes, and I just recently got them. My girlfriend, she did them for me. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put her Instagram. I'm from Central Florida, so if you guys are interested, I'm gonna put her Instagram on the description below. She's a YouTuber too, and she used to dance. But anyways, yeah, you need to invest in yourself, and it's not necessarily cheap. If you're a dancer that takes your job seriously, it takes an upkeep, and the clothes and the, you know, working out, eating healthy, you know, all that stuff it's not cheap. So, I mean, for me, I've had, you know, veneers, surgeries, and let's just say I had investors. But if I wouldn't have, then this stuff is expensive, so yeah. Another pro is that, all right, so at a regular job, whatever the hell that is, so for the most part, our clients are actually really fun. So the majority of people that walk in there are just going there to escape reality, you know, and have a good time. And I'm not gonna act like we do get our hardcore perverts every once in a while, because obviously like that definitely does happen, and unfortunately those people tend to be repeat customers. But yeah, for the most part, you're probably gonna find people that are just there to have a really good time, you know, fun clients. On the flip side to this, and this is where it's gonna start getting kind of dark, one of the cons of being a sex worker is being sexually assaulted regularly. Because at the clubs people are drinking, and assumptions and entitlement sometimes. When you take a drunk man with entitlement issues and just preconceived, assumptions, it can get weird, and that can be as simple as somebody like touching you without your consent. Guys, if you're purchasing a lap dance, you're consenting to that person to dance for you. It's not your job to grope the stripper, okay? So when you start trying to yank on hair or move pieces of clothing or touch or lick or suck or do one of these, that's sexual assault, okay? Yeah, that is a con for this industry, and I don't want to say that you get used to it, but you have to have thick skin to work at one of these places, because if a situation like this is going to make you, break down and cry and eat you up inside, then, like, I'm not saying, like, I don't even know how to put this. I'm keeping it real, okay? A con is that you're going to get, sexually assaulted regularly. I mean, unless you're okay with that, because some girls, I like to say that it's at your own discretion. Not everybody is going to have the same, the same boundaries. So, for me personally, I have, a set of boundaries, and sometimes people cross them. And so, yeah, that's when you get into the sexually assaulted category. But I'm also, I'm well seasoned, so I'm not saying it's not a big deal. It's just, it is what it is. A pro, if you were an ugly duckling like me, a pro will be that when people in your real life, because there's like real life and then there's like work life. So when people in your real life find out what you do, you're gonna get people that are gonna like look down on you and just run their mouth. But honestly, for me, a majority of people are actually really super supportive, and I know that I'm kind of looked like a sex symbol, and that can be fun until you want to be taken seriously, but for the most part it can be fun. So then on the flip side to that is people will people use that as a reason to disrespect you, because they want to believe that their opinions or morals are, I don't really fucking know what the reason for wanting to be nasty to somebody because they're doing something that has absolutely nothing to do with you. I honestly can't reason with that. People will find a reason to disrespect you. So, I can't tell you how many times I've been called, you're just a stripper or stripper slut, stripper whore. That's probably like the number one, like stripper whore. Although if you do decide to stick with this, and you're gonna hear it so much that it's just like, it's not even gonna affect you. It's like, you could have came at me with something better than that, like it is a con though. It is a con for like people to just like, they won't have, like, if you don't give them anything else, they'll just throw your job in your face. So yeah, which is like, you decide if you let that affect you or not. Personally, I'm just like, whatever. Another pro is that there is no limit to how much you can make. It is 100% up to you, because this is a sales job. There's like no cap off. If you market yourself right, it sounds awful, but it is. You are your brand. If you work it right, if you have your clients and you stay on top of them and you work regularly, and you post on social media and you do this and you do that, you can do really, really, really well. So it's up to you to make your sale. Again, on the flip side to that is, it is up to you to make your money. It is up to you. You're not on a salary. You make your money. You need to go get your money. It's not going to come to you. You need to go make it. So that is, again, another downside. If you go to work, right, the club, all they care about is that you're paying your house fee and that you're doing your tip outs. They're not concerned about the money in your pocket, you know? Unless you're a good tipper. You know, if you hook me up with a good client, I'm gonna tip you for, you know, setting that client, you know, up. But for the most part, they don't care. And once you walk in through that door and you pay and you're just doing your set on stage, like, they're not worried about if you're gonna make money or not. That's up to you. So that is a con, because sometimes you just don't feel like hustling. Sometimes, you know, for me, like when I'm on my period or if I'm PMSing, I'm like blah blah blah. That week is like almost like a no work week because my hormones are just crazy. A pro also is that you will stay physically fit. Well, hold on. Some of you girls are just, you guys take it too far with whatever you're eating. But for the most part, because you're actually dancing, like, you will stay in shape. So yeah, that's definitely a pro, especially if you're working the pole. I don't work the pole because my breastises are really big and it just gets weird. But if you work the pole, you will stay in shape. The con side to that is that, okay, so the con side is that there is no, like, we don't have sex worker rights. Just because I why is this a thing? Like, why don't we have rights? Okay, so, like, if you get hurt, you're screwed. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you twist your ankle or, like, there's no workers' comp. If you're out of work, you're out of money, you know, like, I don't know. Thankfully, now we have the internet and everybody knows about OnlyFans. Everybody knows about camming. So, like, you can figure something else out. But if that's not a route that you're willing to take, like, you're basically screwed. If you get sick, if you hurt yourself, so anything like that. There's so much that we can talk about. There's like a lot. Other con is, for me personally, it just, okay, there's like, okay, how do I say this? For me, it hired my, like, self-confidence, because I'm a very shy and introverted person, which is, I don't know. I am just like I'm very quiet, and I'm very, very chill person. But it kind of like just like broke me out of my shell, because it's a sales job where you are basically a fantasy, and like, obviously, like, you need to be a fantasy girl, but you need to talk, you know. And a lot of the times, like, the customers will be like, oh my god, like, you're so beautiful. This sounds so shallow, but you will be told on a regular basis by plenty of men and women, even your coworkers, that you are gorgeous. And yeah, that's just good for the ego, if the ego is a good thing, you know. Yeah, so for me personally, it helped my self-confidence. Everyone's like, not everyone, but the majority of the time, you're getting complimented, you're getting appreciated. You have to position yourself and act in a way that, like, because if you're quiet and shy, then it's just, yeah. For me, I'm like, no, I gotta go make some money, some blah, 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 blah. My alter ego comes out. Daya. Actually, I have so many alter egos, but that's not the point of this video. And then on the flip side, it can make you insecure. Depending where you're working at. If you're not working in a club that the clientele or, like, the people that work there want like your body type, so you need to find a place that you fit into. I don't know if that makes sense. And then my insecurities aren't really like physical ones or personality traits or anything like that. Like, this might sound kind of cocky, but I like who I am. But the insecurity part of it is not inside the club, it's like outside of the club. And it's always like when I meet somebody new and I am, you know, worried that they're going to, like, judge me based on, like, what it is that I do. And it's not that I care, but it's like, I almost feel like sometimes I'm not given a fair chance. Like, you don't even get to know me as a person, you just have, like, these assumptions about me. I don't know if that makes any sense. And just sharing with you guys, like, where, like, my insecurities, like, my cons to it is that it can make you feel insecure because of all the hate and the comments that you can get And it doesn't mean that what they're saying is valid. It's just, you know, sometimes, like, I don't know how to put it. I feel like I'm kind of contradicting myself, but I'm just trying to keep it, like, you know, I'm trying to keep this, like, authentic. Yeah, so even if you make, like, really good money and you're a hard worker and, you know, you've been, like, committed to, like, your, you know, your craft for, like, a really long time, some people will still choose to, like, not respect you as a worker, you know? Like, I've actually had somebody before, because I was talking about wanting to buy a home, they're like, you know, you need to at least have a job for 2 years. And I'm like, yeah, but I've had a job for, like, 13, you know? So, I mean, I didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. I'm like, wow, you're just, like, so comfortable with just, like the ignorance sometimes that comes out of people's mouth can just, like, affect you. I don't know. That's up to you. So, not always, but sometimes this is how I feel. And with that, let's just get into this other topic is, like, when you're in this industry, okay, relationships. Okay, relationships. Just, like, all around. Like, Alright, you're gonna find that it is not gonna be easy to be in a relationship, okay? Some men will just straight up be like, hey, like, I would never be with somebody like you. And that's fine, you know? Because you don't want to date those kind of people anyways. But then there's the guys that are like, like, they're all for it. But also, like, why? You know? Some guys really think, like, because you make good money, or, some people will assume, like, oh, she makes really good money, so she's probably gonna, like, carry her own weight around. I'm still a woman. Like, I don't know. God, this is gonna get really weird. Okay. Alright, there's gonna be the guy that's gonna be like, no, like, F that. Like, you need to quit your job. I do not recommend doing that because, however, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is your profession. I wouldn't recommend just, like, leaving your profession. And then there's, like, the guy that's like, okay, so I've dated, like, all types. Like, another one that's like, oh, yeah, like, they like what you do because, like, you're sexy, right? And you make good money, but then they're expecting you to, like, bring the bacon home. Like, no. Like, I'm not bringing the bacon home for you. I'm not bringing the bacon home. And then there's a guy that lets you do it, but he just doesn't want to hear about it. And he doesn't want you to bring it up to his friends, you know? Like, yeah, but, like, shh. It's like, okay, cool. Let me just pretend that I'm just somebody completely fucking different. There's a guy that's like, yeah, I totally accept it. Like, they accept it because they think that you working is going to, you know, give them, like, these privileges that they wouldn't have in a relationship with a normal girl. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, like, suppose if you're a dancer and you want to be, like, in a monogamous relationship, like, just good fucking luck. Because they're gonna use your profession as an excuse in their mind why they don't want monogamy. And I don't know how else to say that, you know. So good luck with romance. With romance, it's like, I don't know anybody, like, that has had a successful relationship in this industry. So yeah. And you know how I feel about that? It's like, can you guarantee that I will be in a successful relationship for the remainder of my life if I quit my profession? And then, like, you know, because, yeah, we all want love, but it's like, just because you quit your job, it's not going to change, you know, just go get your money, you know, just fuck it. Just, yeah. I would say, dating somebody in the same industry as you, like, honestly, like, dating, like, maybe, like, a porn star, or, you know, a fucking DJ, or, like, a manager, or a club owner, and not being in a monogamous relationship is probably the best route to take. But even then, nothing's ever guaranteed. I would just assume that maybe, like, people that are in similar shoes as you, you know, would understand, you know, a little bit more. I don't have any relationship advice to give anybody. Alright, so Okay, let's keep going. Another pro is that, okay, you're gonna meet women that are fun. Like, they're so much fun. And we're all on the same page. Like, we see eye to eye. They understand you. When you hang out with women that aren't in the same line of work as you, they're gonna look at you like you have three heads and ask you all these like really, really like stupid questions. If you watch my video, what not to ask a sex worker, that kind of covers that whole thing. But yeah, a lot of women will be like super shook. Like, I do get a lot of support, don't get me wrong. I do get a lot of support, but like, nobody's gonna understand you like the girls from work. On the flip side to that is that you can't trust these first, you know, like at all, okay? Do you know what we do? Okay, we are literally professionals at not just being like pretty and sexy and stuff, but like at being fake, okay? Like, it doesn't matter how gross you are, if you have like enough money, we will seduce you, okay? That what do I call it? That gift, okay, that gift of finesse and bullshit doesn't just, like, once you realize that you can do that, you don't just do it with clients at work. Like, you are now able to do this with everybody. Yeah, so that gets a little dark. You just can't trust these girls. Even though you might have a lot of fun with them at work, strip club friendships always. Sorry guys, you know, just being honest. Strip club friendships are not usually long lasting, and if they are, there's usually some type of falling out, and yeah, can't trust these, you know. Another pro is that, for me at least, I can work anywhere. I can go to any city in the country and usually find like a job. Not usually, always. I can work from anywhere. So that is a good thing because they're always hiring, always hiring. Another con would be people's assumptions, men and women's assumptions, just like people's assumptions in general. Okay, so assumptions that I've gotten is that I'm easy. Men assuming that I am, even if I'm not at work, that I am still willing to work. I don't know if that makes sense. If I'm not in the environment, that I'm not working. So don't think that you can pull out some money and then just proposition me. Also assuming that you're a full service worker, a full service girl. I don't know if that makes any sense. Some dancers are full service girls, but not all dancers are full service girls. Some dancers are just dancers. So just people just assuming, you know, things that are just, I don't know. Women thinking that you just always, you know, that you're not somebody that can like be trusted, which I get it, but we don't want to pounce on every man, you know, like, what? No. I mean, some of the assumptions, like as a collective, are right, but you can't assume that every single person, you know, is this way. Like people assuming that like you just like don't have any respect for yourself and just things like that. That's sort of like how are you gonna define my self-respect? That's not how it works. Like self-respect, like you, or like assuming that you have daddy issues. It's like, sorry. They can be annoying. The best thing is to ignore them, which I typically do a pretty good job at. But sometimes it's like again, just stop it. And I would say my last pro is that you don't need like any, you know, background in anything. You can just walk into, you know, a place and start making, you know, decent money from right where you're at in life, you know. That was my list. So yeah, I'm sure that there's like a lot of more things. I'm gonna keep this list so I can make another one because I know I'm missing a bunch of stuff. But yeah, so that was my list for pros and cons of being a stripper. Make sure you like and subscribe. I love all your comments. I haven't posted in a while, so just like help me get the views up.